And welcome to The Conversation Continues. We're joined by environmental reporter Brendan Gibbons from the Rivard Report and senior writer Sanford Nowlin from the San Antonio Current. Thank you for joining us. Brendan, we've been talking about the need to rein in urban sprawl and out-of-control development, especially in the north edges of this city. That is not a new argument. That argument has been going on since before you were born. Is there any way that a city that, as Sanford points out, is going to see 1 million more people between now and 2040, and that's not that long from now, can potentially rein in urban sprawl?
If there is a way, it's not something that we've seen so far. And one thing that I used to hear from a mayor of Bulverde actually is that water used to be the limiting factor. It used to be people couldn't grow into areas that had very low water resources or not much groundwater. Just because there just wasn't the supply that you need for a massive housing development. Well, now there's a bunch of new outfits, including the San Antonio water system, that are running water lines into areas that were primarily only served by well water. So the places that are limited to development in our area, they're shrinking because of these big infrastructure projects like that.
Sanford, and all this goes to the transportation problem. The mayor and the county judge are trying to come up with a large transportation plan that they're going to put before the voters next year. As you see it, what has to be a part of this plan?
Well, I think one thing a lot of us are wondering is whether they're going to lobby to see the amount of tax collection that can be done to support VIA go up. If VIA is badly underfunded by a lot of people's estimation, especially in comparison to other metro transit authorities around the state. And VIA is going to need to be a necessary component of making sure that those 1 million additional people can move around and not have their cars on the road, contributing to smog problems, contributing to urban sprawl, and creating traffic jams that stop people from moving around.
And Brendan, it seems like one of the options has to be just give people more alternatives. It seems like if we're going to have 1 million more people in this city, I can't imagine the number of cars that entails on the roads all day and night.
This is why I take the controversial stance of being okay with the e-scooters. You know, a lot of people, anything that gets cars off the road, I think, is an improvement, even though people should keep them off the sidewalks.
As a matter of fact, Judge Wolf has already suggested that the scooters may be part of the master transportation plan. They might be folded in with the mayor's push for trackless trains, which I think is interesting, as well as something more to deal with VIA. But the bottom line is, getting people out of their cars has always been a tough sell in San Antonio.
Well, I mean, the thing about the scooters or bikes or whatever other technology people may want to use, I mean, that's essentially the last mile that gets you from the bus stop or the train terminal to your house or to the place where you work. And it's going to be necessary to figure out stuff, probably a variety of different options for people to cover that last mile.
And then, of course, to get people to vote on it is a different thing entirely. Sanford Nowlin, senior writer for the San Antonio Current, Brendan Gibbons, environmental reporter for the Rivard Report. Thank you both for joining us today on The Conversation Continues.